Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. And what's up, you nosy motherfuckers? And welcome back to the Operation Hill 100 Hard channel where we do what? Focus on healing, humor, and hot motherfucking topics. What's up? What's up? Hold on, y'all. Cause like people like the motherfucking play, but I'm not here for it today. What's up, my nosy neighbors? I know y'all probably flipping on me because it took me a day or two. You hear me a day or two. It took me a few days to get back to y'all with my reviews. But I told y'all I had a lot more free time last week than I did this week. So that's why it took me so long to watch the last two episodes. But please, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you hit the thumbs up on the video because we're going to get right into this review. We almost at the finish line, y'all. We're almost at the finish line. Truth be told, by Saturday, I probably will be wrapping this whole thing up and let that go and move on and move forward. All right. But let's get into this review because I enjoyed episode 7. I low-key enjoy episode 7. So let's get into this review. First and foremost, the name of the episode, we're watching W.A.G.s to Riches Miami. This is to episode 7, and the name of the episode is called Standing on Business, right? So they start the episode at Stoney's boutique. It's called Instatique, right? And Alexis is there because apparently she's looking for a date night outfit. So she's going to do a little shopping in Instatique. And I like that. You could just see that she's just trying to make sure Stoney gets some camera time and so on and so forth. So I definitely can appreciate that about my girl Alexis, right? Um, and what I also did like is Stoney shared, she was like, I know folks think I ain't do shit with my settlement money, but I actually did. I purchased my boutique so I could start my own business, right? And she was like, but listen, as with all new entrepreneurs, you definitely make some mistakes in business. And she was like, I made my fair share of mine. And she was like, it kind of hurted her in a particular way. She was like, but you know what? I'm gonna get it together. That's just growing pains when you're building a business and a brand, right? So Alexis gave Stoney some good advice, which I like. She was like, listen, you got to start thinking outside the box. She was like, you see, Sade has a swim line, a swimwear line. So why don't you partner with her? This is Miami. Hello, carry her swimwear line in your store. You get a bit of the proceeds because it's your store that she's carrying her line in, and make it work. Make it work for y'all, right? She was like, listen, your boutique is so cute, it's so easy on the eyes that it can double as like an intimate event space. So if you want to host ladies' nights and bridal showers and things of that nature, I think you should think about that, right? Because there's plenty of ways to make money. And you can honestly see that A, Alexis is an entrepreneur, and B, she's had quite a few businesses. So she knows the ups and downs of it all, right? Moving forward in the next scene, Alexis, your behind probably got paid the most next to Portia because you was in next to Sherelle because you was in every damn scene. Then that's the smart thing to do. Again, a good business move. I fuck with everybody on the cast so I could film with anybody, right? But in the next scene, it's Alexis again, but this time she's with Portia, Ashley, and Sherelle, and they are taking some bachata lessons and salsa lessons, and I think they combine the bachata with the salsa and so on and so forth. Why every time I get on live, y'all hear the sirens in the background? Absolutely not. Too deep in the trenches for me. Anywho, I had seen in an interview that Sherelle said that these are the 4 women that know each other in real life. And I'm looking at this part right here, like, which is even more of a reason why these are not the 4 women that should have been taking the salsa and the bachata lessons. Now, you do learn as you go on in the interview that I think that they're taking them for Sherelle's wedding because all of them are going to be in or at Sherelle's wedding. But either way, if you want the show to kind of go in the direction of moving away from like y'all clicked up, it's very cliquish and mean girlish, you would have invited people like Stoney and Jules to an event like this because during the time that y'all taking lessons, y'all getting to know each other. And it would kind of knock off the ice of the relationship, the edginess of the relationships that you guys do have, and also you would get to know more about that person in a more comfortable setting. So I felt like having y'all there who are already friends, and that wasn't a smart business decision. But in any event, you filming the show, so you got to do what you got to do, right? So then the ladies take a break from the lessons and they ask Sherelle about the wedding planning, right? And Sherelle is like, listen, they flash back at this point to when her and my boy Ocho Cinco got into some fucking wrestling with the lawyers, and especially the part when Ocho Cinco was like, wait, what? It's going to be a $500,000 clause put in place that if there's any infidelity on my part, that's what I gotta pay. Oh, bitch, you ain't ready. You ain't ready to marry me. AKA, I'm going to this community, dick. You ain't gonna be trying to box me in. I was like, Seiko, you a piece of work. But I talked about that last episode when he did it. Anywho, Sherelle was like, so at this point, everything is on a standstill, right? And the ladies really and truly didn't look surprised. They just was trying not to look like they knew it already. So they was doing stuff like, oh, okay, that's what's happening. But everybody face said, I knew this shit was coming. But okay, boo. You know, we want y'all to be clear. So let me know when y'all clear so I can do what I gotta do. And then Portia got in her confessional. And one thing about Portia, she not to clean shit up. She was like, well, I'm kind of a little low-key happy that they taking their time because I want to have them already had this baby and drop this baby weight before the wedding time come because I want to be looking good. Portia, shut the fuck up. You know that lady ain't marrying that man, and you know that's community dick, which is why it hints the fact they ain't together right now. So, in the next scene, Stoney is having an event to debut some new pieces for her boutique. And she also was having this event because Stoney is looking for some investors. So what she did say was that she made the mistake of when she purchased her boutique, you know, she made the mistake of getting an influx of inventory without even having any clientele yet. And she was like, that was a poor decision because now you're left with all of these clothes that you spent your money on, but you're not making any sales to get your money back, you know? And then at some point, some clothes become outdated. So it's like, what do I do with this? So what it looks like is that Stoney may be in a position where a lot of the pieces that she has is either outdated or nobody's buying and is making her business go down. So she's now looking for some investors. I really think this was like a filming situation, and you just wanted to do something for filming because, well, I'll get to what was there at the event, but your baby father should have been your number one investor, and you don't give me Stoney, you above sucking his dick again for some money. You're still living in his fucking house. So you didn't have to go to that. You didn't have to outsource, but I think you wanted to because that would have looked good for filming and so on and so forth. So anyway, guest star arriving. It was so cute. Stoney's dad was there. Stoney's dad was there. You could see they're really close. I really would have wished if her mom is still living, that she would have been as well, because I would love to have seen the parents together. But it was so nice to see dad there's you know, supporting his daughter and mingling with the ladies and look good as an older man, right? And then Stoney friend Latoya. Okay, girl. I said, okay, girl. Latoya was Miami ready. Latoya, it was lips, hits, tips, and everything else. But okay, girl. So, anywho, the other ladies start arriving. So it's Alexis, Keita, Sherelle, and Sherelle. A few other guests show up, and Sherelle bought with her Fancy. Now, remember, Fancy is the boutique owner. That Sherelle went to his shop to pick up something for the meeting she was having with the investors and so on and so forth, right? I personally like Fancy, right? So Stoney girl, I'm trying. Jason, I'm trying to love you, but I'm not gonna have my heart broken because you keep trying to save a brother that don't want to be saved. If you guys are movie fans, what is that movie? What is that line from what movie? Right? Anywho, Stoney. Stoney, you had a rack out there, one rack of clothes, right? And then you had some things in some glass cases. Now, I don't know. Once again, sometimes they say production on these shows can be shady. So I don't know if maybe production didn't get everything else you had, but that's all we saw, right? And I'm looking like, Stoney, do you want these women to shade you? Do you want to give them ammunition to talk about? Because it seems like who you invited is who you potentially want to invest. And that bullshit you had out there, that wasn't nothing that nobody would want to invest in. Right. So I was looking like, Stoney, are you serious with this? Right. So Fancy was like, okay, Sherelle, let me holler at you outside. Let me talk to you outside, right? May got out there. He was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Why am I here? This is a waste of my fucking time. What's good, bitch? What's going on? So Sherelle was like, no. I just wanted to help. I want to help her. But in her confessional, Sherelle is saying, I do want to help Stoney's business grow. I just don't want to help her financially. And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I thought that Stoney was having this event because she was looking for investors. If you're not there to help her financially, why in the dog fuck are you there? Right? So anyway, back inside, Keita and Alexis, they pretty much talking to Stony about the direction she want her business to go in, right? Which made sense because I'm guessing like, listen, if you want me to invest in something, I gotta basically hear your business plan. So they was kind of grilling her about, what she wants to do, where she sees this going, what has she done already, what is she willing to pivot into, so on and so forth, right? And Keita was the one asking all the questions, or at least that's what they showed on the show. Don't get me wrong, Keita was asking all the right questions and Keita was giving great feedback, right? I appreciate that. I also feel like she was sincere, right, in giving her that advice. The only thing that I could see is that Keita's personality is like very cut and dry, and it kind of could give you like borderline abrasive, right, from what you see on TV. Right. So I could see how if she was asking all those questions like that, it can have you looking at her like, bitch, what you asking these motherfucking questions? You spend that bread or not? You know what I'm saying? But once again, she was giving her helpful advice, and you could see she was passionate, right? She was very passionate about what she was sharing with her and what she thinks she needs to do, right? I feel like if Alexis was having that same conversation, because of who she is, she just would have approached it differently with more compassion, or white gloves, and so on and so forth. But once again, white gloves or not, I could appreciate Keita being straightforward, honest, direct, and getting to the point. Alexis, Alexis, I always say that I'm gonna Google things when I get off of these lives after I have given my review, and I always forget to do it. But I don't want to forget to do it this time because Alexis, I would love to see. I think you and they said Amari Sotomayor got about maybe 3 or 4 kids together. I would personally like to see, because it seems like you said your oldest is about 20. You look about maybe late 30s, early 40s. You don't look too old to me. So I'm wondering if you had your children young. I'm wondering if you had your children young, because sometimes you do things that make me feel like you want to make sure you rekindle your youth. Now it's different to say I was married and I'm trying to make sure I represent being single. No. Some things give me like the gold teeth. Why? Why, Alexis? Why are you wearing the gold teeth? And my thing is like, sometimes you go to a 90s, some things call for that. Sometimes you just wear them randomly. And I'm like, Alexis, why? So it gives me like a young person. That's pretty much what like a young person would do. So I wonder if you had your children young and sometimes you're trying to reclaim your youth again. But anywho, we'll see, right? So then, excuse me, what the hell? So then after their private little talk Fancy and Sherelle was having outside, Fancy is like, listen, let me call this girl in here, but let me call this girl out here. He was like, because I think you brought me here to kind of take a look around and you saying you want to help her. So let me call her out here and give her some advice, right? So then they call Stony outside to talk. Stony, you ate that 2-piece up. You ate that 2-piece floral maxi skirt situation. You ate that up. I would wear that. Sherelle said, I would wear that too, which is something you should have had on the rack, right? So then Sherelle tells Stony, right? Peep game. I want y'all to peep game because the other day, Ashley and Sherelle both came on this guy named Tyrone B's live. I love Tyrone B. He is so comical. You guys check him out on Instagram and on TikTok. He be like, however, and save it for David. He's very, very funny. He has a very funny personality, right? But he's very honest about what he's saying. He just has a personality where it seems comical. And he has relationships in the industry. So he had Ashley, come up on live to talk about some of the mean girl antics from WAGs. And then as she was speaking, Sherelle must have been watching and talking in the chat. So he invited Sherelle to come up as well. Neither one of them landed the plane to get me to believe that they are not mean girls. They both just made up excuses about being mean girls. So anywho, Sherelle tells Stony after Fancy called her out there, she says to her, he was like, listen, let me talk to you, right? No, when Fancy bought Stony out, he was like, come here, let me talk to you for a second. So here goes Sherelle, because he said he didn't like nothing he saw. Mean girl antic number one, right? So now Stony is trying to explain, like, no, I'm just trying to grow my brand and it's still early. And she kept repeating that she's into fast fashion and all of this, right? So Fancy is like, no, I get all of that. I get it. I understand it. I had to start somewhere as well, right? And he was like, just meeting you up from first glance, even just having one conversation with you. I like you, and I can tell you're a genuine person. Here's Sherelle. I told him I didn't get that when we first met. Mean girl antic number two, right? And then when she said that, Stony did exactly what I hate that she does, which in my opinion is kind of like pandering to them. So as soon as Sherelle said that, hear her now. Oh no, but you didn't even give me a chance. And see, at that point, Stony, that let me know that you and I are two totally different women. But if I was your homegirl, because I like to hang around women opposite of me, as soon as those words would have left her mouth about Mm-mm. As soon as those words would have left her mouth about she didn't get that, and then the words would have left your mouth about because she didn't give you a chance, then the words would have left my motherfucking mouth, which would have been, and you needed one? You need this bitch to validate you? What you mean she didn't give you a chance? You need one? Like, no, absolutely not, bitch. So my whole thing was she wasn't doing that. You should have just kept ignoring her and talking to him because he's the boutique owner. So he is who you really, really need to learn from because he's in the same field and industry that you're in. So I would have ignored everything she was saying. So every time she'd have been like, well, I didn't get that at first. And, all of that weird, mean shit, I just kept going around it and listening to him and keeping my focus on him and trying to build my relationship with him because he ultimately, from what it looks like on the show, is where you're trying to go. Right? So when she said, oh, well, you didn't give me a chance. Now here's Sherelle now. Oh, no. I know. I told him all that. I told him the backstory. And I said, now we over that. Okay, bitch. So why you brought it up? Why you brought it up? Mean girl antic number fucking three, right? So those are three mean girl antics that you pulled Sherelle just in one setting since she was claiming on Tyrone B Live that you didn't understand and you didn't know why you were being called a mean girl. Anywho, Fancy gave some real solid advice. He was like, listen, organize your merchandise better. Take your presentation seriously. Call on your celebrity friends to support you and showcase all your shit. Like, try to take this opportunity to the next level instead of being so low key and trying to keep up with the everyday girl and the fast fashion. No, you're trying to push it to the limit. So you can see that, basically like Sherelle, she was taking it in. But the sidebar of taking it in was that I think she was a little annoyed by Sherelle's antics. So she was kind of like a little bit off of Fancy because she felt like he was like her minion. And I didn't feel that way. I felt like Fancy genuinely was giving her advice that he would give anybody he was mentoring. I just would have loved to see Stony and Fancy meet together separately without Sherelle, right? Because I think if you take the shade out of it and all of that, Fancy genuinely wants to help her because he thought that she was a genuine and nice person and she deserved to be helped. Right, but Stony just stood there and she had the grin and bear it, and she was giving her exchanging pleasantries and trying to sound nice, but in her confessional, she basically was off him and her. She just was maintaining her composure. Yeah, bitches kill me. Anywho, hold on, let me take a sip. Anywho, in the next scene, Sade is meeting up with Jules, who's having a rooftop influencer dinner. Right, once again, I keep saying that I'm going to go and look at the things that I hear about these people outside of this show and Google it, but I always forget. And Jules, you are at the top of my list when I remember, right? Because if anybody at that dinner table was black, I'm telling you, if anybody at that dinner table, at that influencer dinner that Jules was having was black, they had to be mixed because it wasn't a dark skin or brown skin girl in the building. At least nobody darker than Sade, right? The only reason why I feel like one of them was black because they called her Kiki, right? And Sade was like, Kiki, do you love me? Like, you know what it looked like to me, Jules? No shade. It looked like to me, I tried to go hang with the black ratchet and they treated me like shit and I didn't really want to be over there anyway. So now let me go on back to my people because I don't have time for this, right? Allegedly, I do not know, right? I just was looking like, that didn't look good to me, right? So then she started telling Sade, you look really pretty. I haven't seen you in a while, so on and so forth. I know you're getting married soon, so on and so on, so on and so on, right? And then she told Sade, she was like, listen, let me talk to you at the side so we can have a private conversation. Because remember, they're still filming, so they don't want to be talking to everybody who's, of course, not on the cast. So she pulled Sade to the side. And Sade was telling her, like, I finally got my last paycheck for Yeezy, and she was like, I'm happy because I didn't have to go the suing route, because I didn't want to do that. And I want to say this, I really should be a part of the fucking Psychic Network because it's amazing how I can pick things up, right? Didn't I tell y'all in the last episode, I was like, Jules is high strung and she is anxiety builds. You can tell every time something happens, her senses is heightened. She has to like fight or flight, kind of like it's just too much. And you could see that the last couple of episodes and the incidents that was taking place. And again, like Portia said, and I agree with 100%. In every incident that took place, no, Jules, you weren't only to blame, but you weren't blameless either. You did help heighten a lot of things because you could tell you had anxiety. You gave me like you was on the edge, like you was going to explode at any minute, right? And she said exactly that. She was like, I had a lot of anxiety and angst thinking about if she would have to sue Kanye, and it sounds like her lawyer was trying to push her to do so. And I'm thinking it's either one or two things, right, Jules? It's either I still want to work with this motherfucker in the future, so I don't want to completely mess up our relationship, or, and being fair to you, it could also be that you really like Kanye as a person. I mean, I can't call it. I can't tell yet. I would have to have seen more of you to see what your personality was like to know what I thought. But I'll choose the latter. Anyway, but so Sade was just basically saying in her confessional, she was like, she liked Jules. She was like, she really liked Jules. She just feel like Jules is misunderstood, blah, 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 blah. Once again, I would have to see Jules more to know if I genuinely have that feeling, right? So anyway, Sade invites Jules to like this volleyball beach day thing that she said Keita and Tyreek are having, right? And she was like, I just want to let you know, some of the other ladies are going to be there. So are you going to be okay? So Jules was like, I don't care about that hoe. So I was like, ooh. Okay. So she also calls her a gremlin. She was talking about Sherelle. She was talking about Sherelle because she went down a list of other people and said she liked them, right? She even said, listen, that whole veteran event I went to, I was just told that I was going to an event to help the homeless veterans. I did not know that it was Ashley's event per se, because had I known, I would have never went around these bitches, because the experience that I have that I was there lets me know that none of these bitches ain't my friend. But like I said she liked everybody else and only singled out Portia. Only singled out Sherelle. So I wonder why you wouldn't have went knowing it was Portia's event when you claim you didn't have none against Portia. So like I said, you be double talking. That's why I can't really give you the benefit of the doubt too much, Jules, because a lot of times you say things and then you turn around and say something totally opposite. And again, it could be because your nerves is bad and your fucking anxiety is up, but for whatever reason, it just don't be looking good when you're trying to land a plane, right? So Sade was like, listen, I think we can move forward. I think we can move forward in a good space. She was like, I'm trying to maintain peace, yada, yada, yada. Sade, I hear all of that, but I also think you need to be aware that that's not the type of timing that Jules is on. Jules gave me, if it's smoke, put it on the motherfucking floor. That's what Jules gave me. And Jules, I want to say this before I go, and I want it to be very clear, and I want to be fair and say it because I don't want you to say nobody told you. Somebody showed Jules this, right? Jules, I ain't saying Sherelle right about none of the things she did to you. I'm not saying that. What I am saying, bitch, is Sherelle was in the military, right? Sherelle is in the military. And from the glimpses I seen from your last ordeal, you ain't getting me. You was like the Caucasian, Hispanic, scrappy bitch from the streets that know how to get it in when you need to, right? So I'm begging you, girl, do not get dog walked by Sergeant Sherelle. Do not get dog walked by Sergeant Sherelle, because if you do, you're going to be looking double dumb and the world is going to be cracking up at you because you got your ass whipped double times on TV by two black women, and then they're going to get back in their bag with your whole colorism and culture vulture shit, and you're going to be looking stupid. So I'm letting you know right now, if nothing else, factor in that Sergeant Sherelle was in the military. Don't let them fucking dresses fool you. She pull out some fucking ninja work on your ass that she used to do when she was in the armed forces, and you're going to be there looking crazy. So I hope you choose wisely, my dear. In any event, episode 7 was kind of corny, but I'm getting through this, and we got one more to go. Ladies and gentlemen, please hit the thumbs up on the video. Do not forget to hit the thumbs up. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Tomorrow we will be lit at 6. We will be talking the legend Irv Gotti. We will be talking the bullshit artist Krishan Rock. We will be talking. Oh my God, I wonder if Nelly ever said, Ashanti ever said anything, but doesn't sound like it. Anywho, we're also going to be talking about Saraya and Joey Badass having a baby. We're going to be talking Cash Doll versus the Dolls. We're going to be talking Candy and her advocacy for Kenya. We just going to be running our mouth tomorrow. So I hope to see you guys at Lit at 6. Let me know how you like this episode. If you saw something different, if you heard something different, drop down and leave it in the comments. It is Aquarius season, bitches. Enjoy your night.